Ladies, I'll be honest with you. If you're over 60 and you've been feeling more bloated or gassy lately, even when you're eating all the right foods, you are not imagining things. In fact, some of the healthiest foods we eat at our age can be silently sabotaging our gut. And no, it's not just beans or fizzy drinks. Some of these will surprise you. So stay with me until the very end, because I'll explain the 5 most common gas-causing foods I see in older women, and what you can eat instead to feel lighter and less embarrassed in your own body. And if you're tired of the bloat, leave a comment below with the word enough, so I know I'm not the only one. Let's dive in. 1. Broccoli and cruciferous vegetables. Broccoli is healthy, they say, and they're right. But they also didn't tell you what happens after 60. Now listen, I'm not here to vilify vegetables, especially not the ones packed with cancer-fighting compounds and fiber. Broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts belong to the cruciferous family, and they've earned their health halo. But they also share something else in common. They are notorious gas producers, especially in older women. Why? Because they contain a type of complex carbohydrate called raffinose. Raffinose doesn't get digested in the stomach or small intestine. It travels intact into your colon, where it meets your gut bacteria. And when it ferments there, it produces gas. And not just a little gas. We're talking balloon belly, can't button your pants. Please don't sit too close to me, gas. Here's the twist. When you're young, your body handles this process more efficiently. But as we age, enzyme production declines, and gut motility slows. Our microbiome changes. 2, we lose some of the beneficial strains that help break down these tricky fibers. What does this mean for you? That healthy broccoli salad you've been diligently eating for lunch may actually be the reason you feel like your belly is full of air by dinner time. Now, I'm not saying to never eat broccoli again, but preparation matters. Lightly steam these vegetables. Don't eat them raw. Pair them with gut-friendly herbs like ginger or fennel, and eat smaller portions more frequently rather than one giant helping. Also, pay attention to how your body reacts within the first hour or 2. If you feel a tightening in the belly, or you find yourself discreetly reaching for the peppermint tea, your gut may be telling you it needs a break from cruciferous overload. 2. Apples and pears. They say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Ironically, I'm the doctor here today to say that apple may be doing more harm than good. Let's be clear, apples and pears are full of good stuff, vitamin C, fiber, antioxidants. But if you've been eating them daily and wondering why your belly seems puffed out or your gas feels especially stubborn, this might be your answer. The culprit? A sugar alcohol called sorbitol, naturally found in these fruits. Now, most young adults can handle small doses of sorbitol, but as we age, our small intestines become less efficient at absorbing it. And just like raffinose, it sneaks down into the colon, where bacteria feast on it, releasing gas in the process. And get this, sorbitol doesn't just create gas. It also draws water into the colon. That means it can trigger bloating and looser stools, or even that uncomfortable urge where you feel like you need to go. But don't. There's more. Pears and apples also contain fructose, which many older adults become sensitive to without even realizing it. It's a double whammy. Fructose malabsorption combined with sorbitol overload is a recipe for belly discomfort. And yes, even organic, fresh from the farm, raw in the salad apples and pears are included. It's not about the quality, it's about the chemistry. So what can you do? Try switching to lower sorbitol fruits like blueberries, strawberries, or a banana, ripe, not green. If you love your apples, try cooking them down into a warm, homemade applesauce without added sugar. Cooking breaks down some of the troublesome compounds and makes them easier to digest. Don't feel guilty about this. Your body's needs are evolving, and honoring them is the most intelligent, compassionate thing you can do. 3. High-fiber whole grains like bran and oats. Fiber is your friend until it's not. I've had patients in their 60s and 70s come to me utterly frustrated. Doctor, they say, I'm eating bran flakes every morning, oats for lunch, and I drink water all day, but I feel like I'm 6 months pregnant with air. Sound familiar? Let's unpack this. As we age, the type of fiber we eat becomes just as important as the amount. There are two major kinds of fiber: insoluble fiber, which adds bulk to stool and speeds up transit; soluble fiber, which absorbs water and forms a soothing gel in your gut. Bran, wheat, and traditional oats are insoluble heavy. That means they don't dissolve, they just pass through. In a healthy, youthful gut, that's fine. But in older women, these coarse fibers can feel like they're scraping their way through a digestive tract that's moving at half speed. Worse, many older adults aren't hydrating enough to move that fiber along. The result: gas, constipation, and bloating, a trifecta of discomfort. And here's another secret most cereal boxes won't tell you: sudden increases in fiber, especially the insoluble kind, shock the gut. If you've been eating white toast and then suddenly jump into bran muffins every morning, your gut bacteria haven't caught up, and they will ferment whatever you can't digest. That fermentation creates, you guessed it, gas. What's the solution? Start with soluble fiber sources. Oats soaked overnight, easier to digest; chia seeds, flaxseed meal, or psyllium husk in water. Incorporate gentle, cooked vegetables like carrots or squash alongside your grains. Slowly increase fiber over weeks, not days. Let your body adapt. And if you're still feeling gassy after switching, don't be afraid to rotate your breakfast routine. Warm bone broth with soft scrambled eggs or a banana with almond butter might actually give your gut the break it's been begging for. 4. Dairy, even low lactose or healthy yogurts. I've had milk my whole life. Why is it suddenly giving me trouble now? I hear this from older women all the time, and the answer lies in a little enzyme called lactase and what happens to it as we age. Lactase is what helps your body digest lactose, the natural sugar found in milk, cheese, yogurt, and cream. When we're children and young adults, most of us produce plenty of this enzyme. But after the age of 50, and especially past 60, many of us start producing less. For some women, lactase production drops to near zero without them even realizing it. The result: that harmless-looking scoop of Greek yogurt or splash of milk in your morning tea starts causing gas, bloating, cramping, and even loose stools. And it doesn't always happen right away. It can take hours to show up, making it tricky to trace the culprit. What makes this more confusing is that many women think, I buy low-fat, low-lactose or organic dairy, so I should be fine. But even those healthy yogurts can be problematic for 3 big reasons. They still contain some lactose. Even lactose-free products can contain trace amounts that build up over time. They often include added sugars or artificial sweeteners like sucralose or aspartame, both of which are notorious for causing bloating and gut irritation. They're cold and acidic, which can aggravate sensitive digestion in older adults. Let's be honest, gas from dairy is not only uncomfortable, it's often embarrassing, especially when you're out with friends, attending events, or just trying to enjoy a peaceful morning without running to the bathroom. So, what can you do if you love your creamy textures? Try plant-based yogurts made from almond, coconut, or cashew milk, but be sure to read the labels. Choose options with no added gums or artificial ingredients. Hard, aged cheeses like Parmesan and cheddar are lower in lactose and often better tolerated than milk or soft cheeses. Or if you really want that bit of dairy, consider using a lactase supplement before meals. Many of my patients find relief with just 1 tablet before a dairy-heavy dish. Remember, just because you could digest milk at 40 doesn't mean your gut wants to deal with it at 70. That doesn't make you weak or broken. It makes you wise for listening to your body's signals. 5. Onions and garlic. I know. Taking onions and garlic out of your meals feels like taking the soul out of your cooking. But hear me out, because these two kitchen staples could be the hidden reason behind your gas, bloating, and that all too familiar pressure in your lower belly. Both onions and garlic are packed with flavor, yes, but they're also full of something called fructans. These are chains of fructose molecules that most human digestive systems struggle to break down. And if you're over 60, the struggle gets real. When fructans hit your colon undigested, they ferment quickly, feeding the bacteria in your gut. That fermentation process leads to bubbles of gas that stretch and irritate the intestines. And it's not always silent. The bloating, the gurgling, and yes, even the sudden urge to pass gas can strike when you least expect it. And here's the tricky part. Even small amounts of garlic in salad dressing or seasoning blends can cause a reaction. Even cooked onions can lead to bloating, depending on your sensitivity. And especially in older women, gut sensitivity and slower transit time means that even a little bit can hang around for hours. This doesn't mean you need to live a flavorless life. Far from it. Here's what I recommend to my patients who love a tasty meal but want to avoid the bloat. Use garlic-infused olive oil instead of whole garlic. The oil captures the flavor without the irritating fructans. Swap chopped onions for chives, scallion greens, or a pinch of asafoetida powder, a little-known Indian spice that gives onion-like flavor without the gas. Experiment with herbs like rosemary, thyme, basil, or ginger, which not only add beautiful flavor, but also support digestion. And if you're thinking, but I've eaten onions my whole life without a problem, that may be true. But gut sensitivity isn't static. It changes with time, stress levels, medications, hormone shifts, and even the diversity of your gut bacteria. So if your meals are leaving you uncomfortably bloated, even when they're healthy and homemade, it may be time to give your gut a break from the very ingredients you thought were helping.